He smashed the vase, picked out 2 suitable pieces, and planned to make simple goggles to avoid eye injury from bright light during construction and protect against falling dust. He climbed the 20-foot ladder again, carefully prying at the light fixture's edge with a tool. Clearly, removing it easily wasn't happening. After chipping away the outer layer, a bolt appeared. Though a bit disappointed, he told himself he couldn't stop. As the last piece of trim came off, a whole row of bolts was fully exposed. For just one light fixture, they had used 12 bolts. Days passed, unable to find a wrench. Nick sank into despair. His mind began to wander, yet the pigeon on the balcony clung stubbornly to life, seeming to encourage him not to give up. Nick walked into the walk-in closet to change clothes and unexpectedly discovered a hidden door. Squeezing through the narrow passage, he wondered, could this be an escape route left by the owner? But when he got close, he saw it, the very world-famous painting he'd been desperately seeking. Hidden inside, trapped, he felt no joy at all. That night, the pigeon still didn't make it. Nick lay down despairingly once more. Then, new hope appeared on the monitor. The cleaning lady was back at the door. Nick pounded on the door tirelessly, screaming for rescue. Yet outside, there was still no reaction. He tried slipping a note under the door. It was all futile. Whatever he did, no one was coming to save him. Late that night, a delirious Nick dreamed. He dreamed the owner received him, inviting him to admire the latest famous painting. Nick didn't linger. He turned and walked towards an airplane in the darkness. Immediately afterward, the apartment's tightly shut wooden door swung open. Waking up, Nick seemed to have a sudden profound realization. Wrapped in a blanket, he re-examined the ladder he'd built. The new day began. He dismantled a few chairs and started carving a wooden wrench with his small knife. He would try again, turn the impossible into the possible. The wooden wrench was fragile. It snapped time after time, but Nick didn't give up. He constantly refined the tool and finally, after repeated attempts, succeeded. To replenish his strength, Nick scooped fish from the aquarium, mixed them with flour and formed balls, battling overwhelming nausea. He forced them down. Day after day, he carved countless wooden wrenches. Nick lost track of how many times he started over. Besides making slow progress, he doodled on the walls during breaks. Perhaps influenced by being surrounded by a room full of art, his casual scribbles started looking surprisingly artistic, but the food quickly ran out. Nick's days grew increasingly difficult. One day, even the water stopped. He clutched a potted plant and roared in anger. Perhaps driven by sheer survival instinct, Nick suddenly had a flash of insight. Triggering the ceiling smoke detector might alert the building management. He gathered some paper scraps, used a magnifying glass to focus sunlight and start a fire, then held the flame near the smoke sensor. Instantly, a downpour erupted inside the apartment. However, the despair returned. The house's waterproofing system was exceptionally good. Outside, people remained completely unaware. The only benefit was that the water supply problem was temporarily solved. Talk about trouble piling on. Just as only the final nut remained, Nick crashed heavily off the ladder. In the following days, Nick began having hallucinations. He saw the cleaning lady silently enter the room, kneel down, and kiss him. Day 30, snow drifted outside the window. The pigeon's corpse in the snow had turned to bare bones. Nick picked up the final nut. It took 2 attempts to lift his arm and place it correctly. He had succeeded. Nick, now at the end of his strength, began climbing the ladder. This was both a path to survival and like a stairway to heaven. As the glass from the light fixture fell away, Nick finally escaped from there. He took nothing with him. Instead, he left the owner an extraordinary work of art.